Today I'm going to show you how to make a mask just like this. It's very much like the mask they use at the hospital, except for this one it has a hidden pocket. So you can stick a filter in there, and it is reusable. It has a hidden wire inside here that is a copper wire that's rubber coated. You can wash it as many times as you'd like. It's very bendable, so it will seal your nose and cheeks all the way across. Okay, on to the tutorial. To make this reusable mask, you will need the following: 2 pieces of fabric cut to 9.5 by 7.5 inches, 2 pieces of elastic cut to 8 inches, and 1 rubber-coated copper wire cut to 5.5 inches and curled at the ends. The finished wire should measure 4.5 inches, and the wire is a 16 gauge wire. Half-inch seam down the side. Back stitch at the end. Same with this piece, half-inch seam down the length. The right sides together, like so. Line them up, and then what you're going to do is stitch them together. However, you're going to go down about 3/4 of a way down the length of the pieces, right about here, because we're going to keep the middle section open for the filter. You're going to do a back stitch, and then go all the way down until you get to about 1 inch away from the corner. You're going to slip in your piece of elastic. This is cut to 6 inches. You're going to need 2 pieces. Slip this part in and put it at an angle, like so. Okay, you're going to stitch that in place. Remember to back stitch so that it stays put. Then you're going to turn the entire piece, move the elastic away from the seam. You're going to stitch down the side. Again, when you get to the edge, the corner, lift the petal, move the other end of the elastic to this corner, like that. Place the top piece over, stitch over it. Again, do a back stitch to make sure it stays put. You're going to stitch down the long side, the other long side of the mask. When you get to this corner, again, lift your petal and you're going to add your second piece of elastic. Only this time, you're not going to stitch up the side seam, and I'll show you why. Just stitch this one in place. Again, back stitch so that it doesn't go anywhere. It's going to look like this, okay? Now you're going to go to this side, the finished side of your mask, and you're going to stitch that side down. Go down 3/4 of the length. Do a back stitch just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. When you get to this end, lift your petal, move this end of the elastic over like you did on the other side. Again, you're just going to stitch this in place. You will not be stitching the side together for now. Back stitch. This side is going to stay open. The reason for that, we're going to flip this inside out. So now it's the right side is out. Okay, like this. Next step is we have to create a pocket for our flex nose wire. This wire measures 4.5 inches, so we're going to have to create a pocket that is 5 inches. In order to do that, we have to find the center of the mask first. So we're going to fold it in half, account for about 1/2 inch seam allowance for the unfinished side. We're going to pin the center. Since the pocket is going to be 5 inches, we're going to place the center pin at 2.5 inches. Then what you're going to do is pin the side 2.5 inch, 5 inch mark here. Here we go. That's where our pocket is going to be. We're going to start on the side that's already finished, right? Because we want to leave this side open to slip in our wire. So go ahead and take this pin out. Just make sure you line up the needle where that pin was. So you start there, do a back stitch, go down about 1/2 inch, create a 1/2 inch pocket, do a back stitch, sew down all the way down the length of that pocket, okay? When you get to the pin, take it out, and then continue all the way to the last pin. Be careful not to stitch over your pin or else you will break your needle. Do a back stitch when you get to the end. Slip in your wire, and if you created a big enough pocket, it should be pretty easy to slip. It'll slip right in. Okay, now it's in. We're going to stitch it up so that it stays snugged inside. It will not fall out. Again, do a back stitch, go down, and now your wire is snugly inside and it's not going to go anywhere. So now what you're going to do is you're going to turn the whole thing inside out again, and you are going to stitch up the other end of the mask. You're going to tuck this elastic piece in, and then you're going to stitch up this end. Remember to do a back stitch when you start. So you're going to turn your piece inside out like so. So now you have your mask. So this is what it looks like when you turn your mask right side out. You've got your little pocket here for your filter, and we have 2 more steps to go. The second to last step is top stitching. So we're going to start by putting a pin where our pocket is, where it starts and where it ends, so that we know to not stitch over that. Okay, I'm going to start there. Stop at the flexible nose part, and then we're going to continue on the other side of that. Remember to take out your pin as your needle is getting closer so you don't break your needle. And remember to do a back stitch so that it doesn't unravel. Last part are the pleats. So this is how I do my pleats. there you have it. What I like to do is stitch another seam about 1/4 inch from the original seam, the side seam, just to secure. Then that is it. So we have the nose bridge up here. You can bend it and mold it to the face. And then the pocket at the bottom, you put your filter in, and there you go.